What's up, everybody? It's the Best of Bias Podcast. Let me bring this mic a little closer to my face so you can hear me. It's the Best of Bias Podcast, and on this episode, we have plenty to talk about in a little bit of time. But I'm here. It's Saturday today. I know it's not Friday. I know Patrick's late again. Lydell's late again. But nevertheless, we back. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a rough week for me. Oh my God. Work has been a drag. I couldn't wait to get into the studio to talk to y'all, but work this week has been just mentally straining. I really don't want to get into it. I'm actually hoping to forget about it and just talk to y'all and get a lot of stuff off my chest today. Sports is heating up. I know there's a lot of stuff I didn't talk about that happened earlier last weekend, and it's been in the news cycle earlier in the week. So I kind of want to touch up on that. South Carolina, UConn winning the March Madness tournaments, some NBA updates. Last 5 games are in effect. So these last 5 games matter for seedings. There's a lot of shit going on right now. The Nuggets right now just lost to the Spurs. They could have the 1 seed locked up with beating the Spurs and the Memphis Grizzlies, but they decided to want to lose to San Antonio. San Antonio pushing us down to the 3 seed. Man, I secretly feel like they're running from the Lakers and the Warriors, but be it as it may, we got to play and beat whoever comes in front of us. Pause. And we just got to do what we got to do. But I'm not gonna talk too much about that right now. Playing tournament, Bronny leaving USC and becoming eligible for the draft, but at the same time keeping his eligibility for college open. I think he's going to Oregon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Then we have some draft talk. J.Cole responds to Kendrick diss and then takes it back. And Future and Metro Boomin drop. We still don't trust you. Bryson Tiller's album dropped. You got some The Challenge, All Stars new season premiered. I went and saw Monkey Man, Invincible season 2 just wrapped up. So a lot of stuff to talk about. If you all have me, new listeners, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world today. Today it's the weekend, it's Saturday. I know I'm late on Friday, but you decided to click on this podcast. You decided to support your boy, whether you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening within your favorite podcast app, whichever it is, man. Thank you for clicking this podcast, and for the family that always here. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for always coming and supporting your boy. It's been a long time coming. New listeners, it's been since 2019. That's how long it has been. Again, no long talking in the intro. We'll get into that all in the pod. Let's get into it. It's the Best of Bias Podcast Saturday edition. Where that theme song at? You know where it's at. It's right here.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.
And we back, and we back, and we back. I know. I ain't gonna start making excuses about last week. You know what I'm saying? And why this podcast is 1 day late. And the video might be a little bit later than last week was. Last week was crisp with it, wasn't we? He was back on track, but again, work was a little taxing on your boy. And being as it, I gotta get up here and muster up the energy to talk to y'all solo most of the time. I haven't been able to reach out to anybody this week for scheduling a drop in for the pod. So yeah, again, no excuses. Your boy got a duty to do. I got a duty. You know the rest, but I ain't gonna go all there. But I feel like I have a duty to come and share the week's information. I'm on it. You see it on the Instagram being posted and all that. You're like, okay, when is he gonna talk about it? He better talk about it. Where's the pod at? It's gonna come. Don't you ever worry. You know what I'm saying? Just like make sure you're tuning in, hit those likes, hit those bells, hit those subscribe buttons on that YouTube, follow the Instagram, and you'll always be up to date. You'll never miss what your boy is gonna drop. Support the fam, support everybody that I put on the Instagram as well. We all here trying to cook. You know what I'm saying? The Best of Bias family spans through many media outlets. So just go ahead and keep checking us out. Keep coming back. We have plenty of content coming, though it may just be me today. You never know who's gonna stop by the Best of Bias podcast, especially with the challenge starting. You never know. A lot of people. There's just so much to talk about. Well, I'll get there in a little bit, but let's start with the sports. Let's start with March Madness, and let's start with the women's side of things. National championship. We saw the week before Iowa took care of LSU. So the hype or the rematch of LSU playing in the championship, we all kind of already knew it wasn't going to happen after seeing the bracket. But, after all the hype of that game died down, we didn't know what the championship game had to hold because everybody's so quiet about South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? We see all the records. We see what Don Staley is doing since she lost last year. She went about 38-0, including the tournament and the championship this year, I believe. It's about 38-0. But everybody was talking about, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, well, all due respect, Juju Watkins, she's going to be talked about for a long time to come. But all these other people, but nobody was talking about the undefeated South Carolina Gamecocks the way they should be talking about, like Camila Cordorzo. Please, excuse me if I mispronounced your name. And a lot of the other young ladies on the team that are balling basically had 2 starting fives. You know what I'm saying? And Don Staley, man, if in my opinion, she should be coaching in the NBA somewhere. I just feel like she'll be really relatable, um, and really easy to play for and want to play for in the NBA side, even the men's college basketball side. But I'm not trying to really try to force her out of, what I'm saying, out of the women's side of NCAA, you know what I'm saying? Because she's going to reign supreme for a while. I'm pretty sure her recruiting is going to be top notch, and they're going to continue to win championship after championship, especially Caitlin Clark's gone. USC and Juju and them are going to have a good squad. They can have the #1 recruiting class for next year. But I feel like Don has her hand on the game's proverbial neck. You know what I mean? She's not going nowhere. And again, I feel like she's not talked about as much as she should be. Um, Again, if she wanted to, I feel like behind no, I forget her name, Becky Hammond. Becky, the assistant coach, female assistant coach that was coaching for the Spurs, who was waiting for Pop to retire, and she was going to take over the reins for the Spurs. So presumably. But since they got Wembanyama, it's not looking like Pop is going to retire anytime soon. So in the last couple of years, you saw her coaching in the WNBA for the Las Vegas Aces and winning back-to-back championships. So Becky Hammond and Don Staley, 2 coaches that are transcendent. You know what I mean? We hear about all the male coaches getting all these opportunities and all this escalation off the things they do in the college ranks or in the WNBA or the women's side of the NCAA. But I don't see us really promoting Don Staley to go out there and make that next step. I heard some celebrities out there telling LeBron to protect Don Staley and help get her on the right path, even though she's on the right path now, but she deserves to make way much more money. Even though she's making a whole bunch of money over there in South Carolina, she's probably gonna get a significant raise after winning this championship and possibly another. But you know what I'm saying? The elevation is a must. I mean, I feel like she would be the first, a great crossover woman to go over there and be the first women's coach in the WNBA. Right now is the right time. Women's sports has an incredible eye. I think there was about 12 million viewers for the championship game. The score ended up being 87-75. I should have told you that before I just went on talking about Don Staley and how great she is, even though she is great. They did end up winning the game. Don Staley, Caitlin Clark's legacy, it's not to be questioned. I wouldn't say single-handedly, because I think she kind of, after last year, Sabrina, and after I think Sabrina and being that Kobe protege, kind of brought a lot of light to the game. But then once Caitlin Clark came into the game as well, being like a Steph Curry light as well, it kind of showed that the women's game is very on the rise and actually already here. I don't want to say up and coming, but I feel like it's always been there. People just didn't really look at it that way because they were kind of told and scorned by the misconception that women's basketball isn't as exciting as men's basketball because they ain't going out there and dunking and doing hella flashy shit. I mean, you will see flashy shit if you watch and you know what players to watch. Paige Becker, again, Juju Watkins, these Fool Wiley from South Carolina. The handle, the shots, the play creation, it's just like the men's game, not the dunking, you know what I'm saying? Not exactly like that. And not as the high flying and stuff like that, but the moves, the precision, the fundamentals, all that stuff is there. And I'm glad that people are getting behind it now. But Caitlin Clark's legacy will go down in history, just for her 50-point games, 30-point games. She probably has a record of all-time scoring Iowa. Yeah, she's gonna be something to watch, especially the draft coming up real soon. So I'm sure she'll be the number one pick in the draft. And just her coming into the WNBA with Angel Reese, with I don't think Paige Becker may be a senior. She might be coming out. And just with the whole class, the UConn class. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the center's name. They're coming out of UConn. Peely that's coming out of Utah. There's just a bunch of players, a bunch of ballers out there this year, just to add to the WNBA that has a bunch of ballers now. Man, and with the Bay Area team coming, I'm so excited about that. It's gonna be a great thing to watch. So, what I'm saying, I'm happy that everybody's kind of getting into it now, and all eyes are there because it's gonna get way more exciting with this incoming class. That 2020 class left a big legacy mark on the college basketball game on the women's side, and I'm hoping it really inspires a lot more girls to come out there and give basketball a chance. I hope this inspires people, the powers to be, to put more money into the WNBA, because obviously people want to watch it and it's making money, it's getting views, and if it gives people dollars, if it gives these big wigs dollars, they're of course going to want to promote it. So I'm hoping this helps female athletes get paid more with the NIL right now. It gives them opportunities to just be on an equal playing field and put female athletics on a higher pedestal as well, because again, we all like to preach the men's sports and never really want to give the women's sports a chance. And half this, I won't say half the schools, but half the half the schools that do have women's sports, people don't talk about. They just talk about the ones that are mostly in the media, and yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But on the men's side, though, UConn played Purdue. Again, I'm going to tell you, I didn't really watch much of the men's basketball NCAA March Madness tournament outside of Oregon. I watched Oregon's game, and after games, and after we lost to Gonzaga, I kind of tuned out. And again, I really just watched Pac-12 basketball. I kind of stopped and lost interest in college basketball the last couple of years, just because, again, the one and done system, players don't really play for that long. And the draft picks, the best players nowadays, excuse me, the last couple of years, the number one picks have either come from overseas or are already in the G League. So it's just interesting. And people frown upon the players that are in school for 4 years. So I don't know, it's kind of backwards in basketball, because you have to play 3 years for football. But when it comes to basketball, the best players either don't go to the college ranks or only play 1 year. So you don't really get to see them that long. So yeah, it's a little interesting, but yeah, UConn did win that game. They ended up winning 75-60. Zach Edey did perform 37 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, which is damn near, yeah, it's over half the team's points in the whole game. I don't know what the whole team was doing. I don't know if the big stage kind of overshadowed what was going on, but UConn was able to go win and go back to back. Another team that has a bunch of upperclassmen, you know what I'm saying? That's the thing about college basketball. The teams that actually win the tournaments aren't the teams with the flashy 1 year players. It's the team with all the juniors and seniors that are on the squad. They have a good cohesive team that's been together for a lot of years, 3 or 4 years, and they're able to make that next step and beat everybody out. The Kentuckys of the world, the Dukes of the world, North Carolinas of the world, they're not even exciting right now because a lot of the players, one, aren't notable, and two, a lot of the young players that they do get, the 5-star recruits, again, just come in for 1 year and then are out after they, either don't win the championship or, it's just they just cycle through really, really fast. So, excuse me, I have to drink a little bit of water. I know that probably sounds a little weird in your ears, audio listeners, but video watchers, how I'm get down. But yeah, congrats to both teams, UConn and South Carolina. Hoping to see big things from it again. Hey, South Carolina, hoping they go back to back. And UConn, man, making a three-peat. Let's see, but Oregon's coming next year, especially if we get Bronny James. I'm just saying. Let's see what's next. The NBA. Yeah, again, like I said, last 5 games are in full effect. This play-in tournament is looking crazy. The top of the standings in the West. I told you guys, I always talk about the West because the East doesn't really interest me that much. I mean, the Celtics are up top and have like a 26-game lead against the last team on the East side. 26 games, and I think the second place team is like 12 games behind. So that's not even really that interesting, bro. I think the Celtics are going to not sweep everybody, but just kind of walk through the Eastern Conference unless, because I think Giannis is not going to be healthy. He's going to probably be like last year, coming to the playoffs kind of off an injury, not really in game shape, ready to go. And he might be susceptible to a team like Miami, to a team like the Cavaliers, to a team like the Knicks if they have OG Anunoby healthy. You know what I'm saying? So it can get a little tricky, but ultimately Eastern Conference Finals are probably going to go through Boston, and Boston has a squad. They just re-upped Drew Holiday. I know they just gave Jaylen Brown a contract. I think once they signed Porzingis, they extended him. They ain't gonna get rid of Tatum. And then yeah, so it's like their starting five is pretty much all signed, and it's their role players that are gonna have to be backups and just come in and out every year. But their backup players are even good. I think Derek White is signed for a little bit too. So I think Derek White might be the only one that just hasn't read up on his contract yet, but I'm sure he will because he's damn near, yeah. If they win the championship, they're gonna re-up on the contract for sure and try to win it, run back to back, run it till the wheels fall off over there. But on the West side, though, on the West side, yeah, the Nuggets were number one on the West, in the West with 2 games remaining, 2 games remaining. We were playing the Spurs in Memphis, and we just lost to the Spurs. Man, it was just a crazy game. We were up by 23 at one point, took our foot off the gas, and just let these guys just walk to the rim, shoot threes at will. Like a 23% shooter had like 5 threes on us, bro. It's like this always happens against us. This the most obscure players go out there and just gets buckets, hits threes, and just puts us out our game. But again, if we would have won this game, we would have locked up the number 1 seed. But we lost, and Minnesota and OKC won against the teams they played today. They're only 1 game behind, and due to tiebreakers, I mean, they're 1 game behind before they won. So them winning and us losing, we put them only a half game behind, and then we lost. So yes, and because of tiebreakers, they both passed us up, and we're in third place, waiting to see if we're gonna play the Pelicans or the Suns, depending on if the Suns beat OKC and if Minnesota can lose to the Mavericks. So it's all going to determine if we can jump back up to 1. And if we jump back up to 1, we're going to end up probably playing either the Lakers or the Warriors, in all honesty. Yeah, because if the Suns are in the play-in, because the play-in standings right now, Suns, Kings, Lakers, Warriors, 9 and 10 seeds are Lakers and Warriors, so they play each other first. Then you would have the Suns playing the Kings for the 7th seed. Whoever wins that gets 7. And then the Kings play whoever wins the Lakers and the Warriors for that 8th seed. And then whoever loses that 9-10 seed game is out. And then, of course, whoever loses that game for the 8th seed is out. So it's going to get crazy, and it's all going to determine who's in the play-in, determining on who wins these games tonight. Pelicans and Suns, and the last games are on Sunday. So we're gonna see. We're going to Monday knowing who's gonna be in the play-in tournament and who's playing who and who needs to win what. It's gonna be interesting, man. Again, we lost the game today that we should have won. Murray went off for like 35. Good game coming back, but we could not close it out. Which, I mean, I get it. I get it. Ultimately, I don't really want to I don't want to play the Warriors or the Lakers first round anyways. If we're going to play anybody, I would like to play the Kings, the Pelicans. Kings or Pelicans. I don't want to play Dallas really. I don't want to play the Kings really. I don't really want to play the Clippers. All these teams have hella superstars on it. So we're going to try to do our thing and just kind of stay afloat. Hopefully somehow we can get the Kings or Pelicans. So that's how I feel about it. Again, the Warriors just beat the Memphis Grizzlies, and I think the Lakers beat the Memphis Grizzlies today. I'm recording this on Friday, and the Pelicans are playing the Warriors right now. So they're trying to see what seeds they're going to get, because I think they're tied. The Warriors and the Lakers are actually tied. So them winning is going to determine what seed they get and how many games they have to win in order to get there. I mean, I don't think they can actually I think the Warriors or the Lakers could actually take that 7 seed. No, that 8 seed. So, and flip with the 9 seed, so they only have to win 1 game to get the 7 seed. So these last 2 games are really important. If you can put all that math together and understand what your boy is saying, yeah, it's coming down to the wire basically, and I'm excited to see what happens. I'm not really worried again who we get ultimately, because we had a good season record against a lot of these teams, and I'm hoping whoever plays the Minnesota Timberwolves and plays the OKC can take them out and just have them have their way in the first round. So after the first round is over, if Denver wins, we'll still have that home court. You know what I mean? I do want to kind of propose something. I feel like if a lower seed beats a higher seed, they should kind of switch with that team and get that home court advantage. You know what I mean? Gives the team gives the losing team, the lower seed, excuse me, more incentive to win. And once they do win, it's a lot more beneficial for the team because they get to swap the team and actually get a home court advantage. So that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if that was proposed before. Maybe. I don't know, but I feel like it's a genius idea. Hey, that's my idea though, so don't steal it. Bronny James again. I should have talked about him when I was talking about the NCAA because he just left USC. USC wasn't really that good last year. Yeah, they didn't really play up to expectations, and of course, Bronny James had that heart condition, so he didn't get to play with the team early in the season and get ready to come into the season. He kind of just healed up and kind of got on the court abruptly after he got his wind and his conditioning up. So after he did that. He was able to get on the court. He showed some good D, he had a good 3-point shot here and there, good drive to the rim. But I feel like he still needs a little bit of development before he goes out there and goes to the NBA. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's time for him to go into the NBA yet. I know his dad's playing for the Lakers, and the Lakers are pretty much almost guaranteed to pick him. But at the same time, I feel like his body hasn't developed into like the man body for the game. Pause, you know what I mean? I feel like he still looks like a college player and he's hit the college weight rooms a couple of like one more season at least. Hit a good program's weight room, get on a program, and just develop his game. So he doesn't have to be the savior for a team. He could be, the spotlight's gonna follow him anywhere because he's his dad's son, you know what I mean? But ultimately just get around a team that has players that one uh he's familiar with maybe, or he feels comfortable playing with, that he doesn't have to do everything for the team and actually have to come out there and be their savior. He wants to leave USC and be out of the Hollywood spotlight, so he could have some of that pressure off him. And he does want to test his waters at the NBA Combine to see and be evaluated so people can see maybe where he could be drafted. And people are in the media saying it's going to determine where LeBron James ends up playing too. So all this stuff has stipulations. Me personally, I think he should go to Oregon. He was going to go to Oregon. I personally feel like before he decided to go to USC, he has friends, Mookie Cook, Shawstad, or who else was it? I don't think it was Shawstad. I think it was somebody else on the squad. He was in a movie portraying one of his dad's teammates in his college basketball movie. So it'll be really interesting to see him on the squad with his homies, a bunch of other McDonald's All-Americans that he actually played with in the All-American game. Get around a team that he doesn't have to have the expectations to be great right away. He doesn't have the burden of having upperclassmen on a team that are supposed to be stars and having to succeed the ball or the game, to these older upperclassmen. But we'll see what happens. I feel like he should go to Oregon one more year. I'm sure LeBron has a couple more years in him. If he can boost his draft stock and get drafted higher, or I don't know if he wants to get drafted higher. Maybe the ultimate goal is for him to get drafted low now, help him develop 1 year in the G League or whatever he has to do, and then them just pull him up to the team when he's ready. He can just show out that way. It could be an alternate task, an alternate way, because I'm sure LeBron will work out with his son every day in the offseason, getting him ready for the season. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But again, my ultimate advice for Bronny, do what makes you happy. If you're really trying to get out of LA to get out of the spotlight of your dad and kind of do your own thing, I feel it. I feel like Oregon's that. Nike will have your back. Phil Knight will have every amenity for you out there, protection for you, NIL money to be your own man. Just one more year, and then you'll come out, you'll be developed, you'll be ready to stand on business yourself and not have to rely on your dad being LeBron James in the NBA still for you to get a roster spot and actually be able to be on a team and succeed. You know what I mean? That's just advice from a guy that didn't really go to college and play college. I did go to college, but I didn't play college sports. You know what I mean? I played at JC, but I'm not gonna get into my story. My story's a little, maybe I'll talk about it one day, but this is about LeBron James Jr. right now. But yeah, NFL, a little bit of draft talk, I guess we could talk about. We talk about Stephon Diggs getting traded to the Texans? Man, the Texans are stacking up over there. They got who they get? They really got Danielle Hunter. They already got Will Anderson. They got Joe Mixon. They got Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Nico Collins, Stingley on the defense over there. Yeah, they got what's his name? It's not P Ryan, it's Petrie, that safety. He's pretty raw as well. Man, they got a good little squad over there, so they're doing some stuff in the AFC East or AFC South. I think it's AFC South. Yeah, it's AFC South. But I'm talking Buccaneers draft needs. We'll talk a little bit about these quarterbacks as well. But the Buccaneers, they need an inside lineman, if anything, for the first round. If I want to pick for the Buccaneers, if I was picking for the Buccaneers, bringing that slip up to the podium and picking for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I would take Jackson Powers Johnson from Oregon, center at number 26. If we have to trade up to get him, I would too. Ryan Jensen retired. Ali Marpet retired a couple of years ago inside, I think it was our left guard. And Ryan Jensen was our center. That interior part of our line the last couple of years, man, we weren't able to run the ball at all. Marpet and Jensen, when they were together, we were able to run the ball up and down the field. It wasn't the best running game, but we had the better chance with him. Marpet, Jensen, and Wirfs on one side. I know Donovan Smith wasn't the best, but yeah, I think Marpet was on Smith's side, so he protected him a little bit. And Wirfs was on the right side. But either way, over the years, we've been playing with free agents and bringing people in, drafting a couple of linemen that didn't necessarily work out. A couple of them are actually kind of developing right now. I think at right tackle, we have Luke Gedeke, who we drafted to play guard, who was terrible at guard. And once we kicked him out to right tackle, he was amazing. So we have him out there. I think we signed a free agent from the Giants to play left guard. If we draft Jackson Powers Johnson to play center, our line would be solidified. We'll give Rashad White more holes to run through. And I think we're going to draft this running back out of Kentucky named Ray Davis. I think that's only right just because Cohen, our offensive coordinator, was coming out of the Kentucky system from last year. So I think he's really familiar with Ray Davis. I think he's a late round pick. And I think it's a guy that fits our system perfectly, a bruiser that can also make people miss in space and catch the ball. So I think that's something cool. Other than inside linebacker, I think we need a cornerback. As you guys all know, we traded away Carlton Davis to the Lions for a third round pick. So we're kind of thin over there at corner, even though we still have Jamel Dean, who I don't necessarily like that much just because he always gets hurt. He's long, pause, and has speed, but he's not necessarily the best in coverage all the time. And he always gets hurt when he gets beat. And then he gets out for the whole game rather than, I'm not going to say he's not really hurt, but it just seems like every time he gets beat for a play, excuse me, he ends up hurt, and he's hurt for more than one game, which makes our backups have to step up. Zion McCollum, he's okay again, a speed guy, but I mean, in his third year, hopefully he has developed a lot more in coverage. We have Izzian, undrafted rookie. We signed last year. He played great in our nickel corner. So we signed a couple of other DBs. We got Jordan Whitehead back from the Jets, our hitter that we had when we won the Super Bowl. He went to the Jets last year and had about 3 interceptions, 2 in the first game. So him lined up with Antoine Winfield looks going to be a great, a little cornerback. I mean, safety a duo. But we need to draft a cornerback. So I wouldn't mind if we took Kool-Aid McKinstry or Nate Wiggins, one of the top corners available if Jackson Powers Johnson isn't available. We also need a linebacker, whether it be inside linebacker to replace Devin White or an outside linebacker to replace Shaq Barrett and add to the rotation of Yaya Diaby, Jordan Troyan Shoyinka, and who else we got out there? I don't think we have anybody else on the outside. But on the inside, we have Logan Hall, Vita Vea, Kalijah Chauncey. And I mean, if they wanted to draft another inside rusher, they could as well. But you know what I'm saying? We have good positions, and then a running back or a receiver late just to add to Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, of course. How did I forget my boy's name? But we also have young Trey Palmer, did well for us last year. Yeah, speedster, big guy too, 6'3". You know what I'm saying? He has to get his hands a little bit better. And just block a little bit better, get his crispness and his routes a little bit better. But he's a speedster, fastest guy on the team, big 6'3" guy running like a 4'3". So We used to get together. I'm excited to see the draft this year. It's all about the quarterbacks, always all about the quarterbacks, though. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, and a whole bunch more. Maybe that be maybe drafted late. But a lot of these quarterbacks are getting looked at, and it's a lot of controversy going on. I wouldn't say controversy, but a lot of word of mouth going on. That the Bears could go another way. The Washington Commanders are looking at Jaden Daniels. Drake May is falling. People are not thinking that his skills are going to translate into the NFL. People are seeing more Mitch Trubisky, more Mac Jones than actual Justin Herbert that people are kind of trying to compare him to. JJ McCarthy, everybody seems to love him out of Michigan winning the national championship this year, but I didn't see much from him. That game, that offense was a lot ran through the run game. Blake Corum just got carries. Forgot the other running back's name. I think it was last name was Edwards. But he wasn't really forced to make big throws. And I don't know if he's going to go to the NFL and be as great as everybody's saying. I don't know if he is like a smoke screen that everybody's trying to bump up just to get somebody to fall to another team. But there's a lot of word about this guy, and I don't know if it's gonna translate. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Bo Nix, you already know I'm rocking with Bo. I feel like he'll be good in a system that is already established. If people are looking for an offensive coordinator, if they don't have an offensive head coach that can scheme up stuff right away, I don't think they should really go for Bo Nix. I think he would definitely fit in the Broncos system. I know he would probably, I think he may fit in the Viking system. I heard that the Seattle Seahawks are really looking to get him. And I could see that system working for him as well because they have good receivers, good running backs, and everything can just be, boom, 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 just like Bo Nix has been playing. I guess. I mean, also a lot of that experience he had in college, I feel like puts him ahead of the curve as far as reading defenses and picking up offenses. So that'll be cool. And then Michael Penix, I've seen a lot of Michael Penix. Everybody's doubting him, looking at his injury history and thinking that he can't come out there and be one of the best quarterbacks in the draft this year. And I think he can. Me personally, seeing him play a lot this year, watching him, hoping he'll lose in the season, and him not losing just because of his lefty arm, just being able to throw that thing out there. And those receivers, Adunze, Polk, McMillan, are going out there and getting it. So I think they all have a bright future ahead of them. I don't know what one's going to be better than which. It's all going to depend on the system. If the Chicago Bears are going to draft Caleb, them getting Keenan Allen and DeAndre Swift and a lineman, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. It's a good head start for him. He could change the franchise. Of course, win more games that he did last year. They did last year with these new weapons they have. Justin Fields being on the Steelers now. We'll see what Russ is able to do. NFL's gonna be cool, man. We'll see what happens in the draft, man. Hope your team drafts somebody good. Hope you guys are excited for it because it is at the end of this month. So I think we're pretty close to the draft. You know what I'm saying? Teams are changed by this draft. You know what I'm saying? We thought the Eagles were last year after drafting that whole Georgia Bulldogs defense, but they kind of fell off. You saw what happened to them. But we'll see, man. A lot of teams are changing. New playoff teams make the playoffs every year. There's always a flip-flop in teams as far as playoffs go. Not all of them. There's some stalwarts, but you know what I mean. But we'll talk about that as it gets closer. You know how I do it. I like to do mock drafts and stuff. So maybe I'll do a little mock draft with the homies as it gets closer. A lot of the homies, I don't know if they're hella follow college football as far as the players go. So I don't know if they'll be too good at that. So I'll workshop it. I'll let y'all know before it gets too close. But yeah, and real quick before we get out of NFL, RIP OJ Simpson, very controversial character. All past in history aside, this is a partially sports podcast, so his contributions on the field, whether it be USC, I think he played for the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken. Again, I was really young when he was at his peak, if not just a baby. Yeah, but still, all bullshit aside though, RIP, it's always tough to, it sucks. Cancer sucks, you know what I mean? I experienced it firsthand. Not the terminal cancers that other people may be experiencing, but just living with cancer. And for these people to sometimes go, just a lot of these celebrities, people just end up dying out of nowhere, and people saying they've been fighting publicly or privately with cancer. It's crazy how celebrities can fight these things for so long and nobody really knows, and them still kind of be in the public eye and just everything seem regular. But man, Caitlyn Jenner, oh man, her saying good riddance, that's foul. But I mean, again, personal stuff aside, I don't know how they vibed or nothing about their past, so I'm not even gonna get into all of that. But um, we lost a top-notch athlete, man. Somebody that put some great stuff on tape for me personally as a running back, to look back on and say, hey, man, that's how you do it. To good running backs, all the running backs of the history that put good stuff on tape that could help any of these running backs coming up nowadays. I appreciate you. Adrian Peterson's the other one. I'm not saying that you passed away or anything, just people that put good running back film on tape. Adrian Peterson, just my favorites. Adrian Peterson, Jamal Charles, Barry Sanders, man, I'm just gonna name. I don't want to forget anybody. I'm gonna stop right there. Just a bunch of these guys that are able to get out there and put highlights on tape, make the running back look good, have little kids driving to play that position. I know the position's kind of dying off now. They give us no respect. You know what I mean? But all the running backs out there, I see y'all, I hear y'all, and I'm always voting for y'all. Looking at y'all really close in the combines at where y'all get drafted. Though they devalue us, and you only get like one drafted in the first round, or maybe two in the first 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? Maybe three in the first 3 rounds. I don't know. It's a good run on them in the second round. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but yeah, man, they want to pay everybody else except for us. I consider myself a running back alumni, so I can just speak for somebody who's had the scars, who had the surgeries, man. Just come on, bruh. Like we score a bunch of touchdowns for y'all. If y'all want to just run the ball or throw the ball all day, we can see how effective your game plans, how many 3-and-outs there would actually be. Um, I don't know. If it's a part of the game that's really crucial, I feel like you should pay the position as such. You know what I mean? Not just because they're replaceable, you can get another one. I don't know. I feel like there should be a minimum contract for running backs that you can have them, and if they perform well, they should automatically be able to get another contract if they don't get hurt. You know what I mean? It's just kind of unfair. We'll see. Man, let me get off my soapbox. But next, we're gonna get into. Okay, we're gonna have to get into this. I'm gonna have to do dual cameras for this. I'm gonna have to do dual cameras for this. Um, Man, I know you guys heard the diss song like that. I know you guys heard the verse. I know you guys were informed by me because I came on here and talked about the verse. I didn't talk about the response at all. I didn't talk about the response. Everybody's like, sorry, drinking more water. Ooh, everybody's quiet. Kendrick Lamar came out here and dissed J.Cole and dissed Drake, and nobody said nothing. But we did get that response that everybody was waiting for in the form of 7 Minute Drill. You guys heard that song, right? J.Cole dropped 7 Minute Drill, a little EP, might delete later. We thought it was directly in response to the stuff that Kendrick Lamar had to say about Drake and J.Cole, and anybody kind of just riding with Drake and stuff like that. The whole mixtape, me personally, I heard a lot of stuff on it online as far as social media and stuff like that. The full songs didn't drop, but he was previewing a lot of these songs, or not a lot of these songs, I can't say that. Maybe like 3 of the songs on little vlogs called I Might Delete Later. So I kind of felt like they were coming either on the album that he's going to drop the fall off or something of that nature. But ultimately, no, it was cool. We got this, and we got the 7 Minute Drill, man. 7 Minute Drill, it was cool. Me and my homies in the group chat, we had a discussion because we knew the effect of like that. We saw what it did. We saw what Kendrick Lamar was yelling. We heard the diss loud and clear. Fuck the big three. It's just big me. We heard all that shit. And we're presumably thinking that Drake's on tour right now. He's busy. He's gonna respond due to his history. You know he responds to shit. He don't let nothing slide that people say. Lyrically, he doesn't run from a fight. Street stuff, he has people behind him that's like, fuck, if you want to get down, we can get down. And he has all the money in the world for protection as far as that goes. But we talking lyrically right now. Drake is never one to back down. I feel like right now, J.Cole is kind of in a run period, if you will. Not saying he's running from the fight, but I'm saying that he's on a run as far as verses go, as far as songs go. He's in album mode. Stuff that he's doing is getting a lot of momentum, is being received really well. So I feel like at this point, or felt like at this point, he felt like with Kendrick Lamar dissing him, he had to come out and do something and say something and try to poke back on somebody that talked about him in order for his rollout for his album and for his throne that he's trying to claim right now as number one to stay valid in a way. You know what I mean? You can't have somebody come out and say these niggas can't rap after I've been saying nigga I can rap, and if anybody has something to say, they can say it, or we can do this rap thing if you want to. Um, yeah, I don't know what happened. Um, like I said, me and my friends in the group chat, people are saying that response was getting at Kendrick, and what was said in that song killed anything that Kendrick said on his song. But I was like, no, this sounded like a retort. Um, that was going to be like friendly. It sounded like friendly competition. If you can rap and diss me, I'll rap at you. I'll jab back at you, but I ain't gonna cross the line. Me personally, I knew this. This is what I'm saying. Like I felt like J.Cole should kind of step out of the way and let Drake and Kendrick go at it because a big three is kind of awkward anyways. Because like you can't have a big three with two being on the same side and one being on the outside. It's like, because then once one is gone, these two are never going to go against each other. You know what I mean? So either one of the two and the three, you get it? One and the two and the three. The two that are teamed up, one of them have to step out of the way because they both can't come at Kendrick. It's not going to look like they did anything anyway, so it'll look like a jumping. Even though Kendrick did this first, but come on now, it's not going to have two against one. And I feel like J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar are actually friends outside of rap. You know what I mean? They're both on the same kind of tip, on a spiritual tip, on the black empowerment tip. We ain't gonna go out here and diss each other and enforce any violence to sully hip hop. We're trying to take hip hop in a different direction. We're trying to let people know that hip hop isn't all about gangster shit and all about party, party, party. It can be artistic and it can go in a certain direction. It can be teaching and life learning and inspiring in a different kind of way, rather than just the braggadocio and the gangster rap and shit that everybody likes now and the trap rap that everybody likes now. I feel like J. Cole trying to pave his way and trying to stand out without having to go that way and having to rap that kind of way or conform to anybody else's style. I feel like he was just finally now kind of taking that stance and kind of transcending other levels and other boxes that people tried to put him in, thinking that he couldn't be even in the top three, let alone be the number one in the top three. But during the 7 Minute Drill song again, he disses Kendrick Lamar's catalog. He says he fell off like The Simpsons. He said his arms were too short to box him. It was just little jabs, like you would say to your little brother, like, man, stop hitting me type shit. You better leave me alone, try to leave me alone. Or your homie that's just trying to throw jokes at you in the group chat. And you're like, all right, keep stinging me. I'm going to sting back because I got jokes for days. I can keep telling these jokes. But I think also he felt like it's going to get way more personal between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. He's friends with Drake, so maybe he knew what was coming as far as Drake getting ready to respond. And then, maybe Kendrick Lamar hit up J. Cole and was like, hey, some of that shit that you were saying, if you want to get down like that, we can really get down. I know you're just trying to respond for your album's sake. Just let your fans know that you ain't no bitch, that you can't, that you can really get down when it comes down to a lyrical tussle. But if you want to stand on that side with him, I got something for you too, and it can get real more deep and personal on your side. You know what I'm saying? So I think that all led up to J. Cole going to his stage on Dreamville Fest and apologizing to Kendrick Lamar for 7 Minute Drill. He said after he did that song, it didn't feel right on his spirit, that he didn't feel right saying and dissing the catalog of Kendrick Lamar. That was really awesome when he just out there saying that shit was whack. And people thought that was the hardest thing. And people in the media kind of ran with that and were giving J. Cole a point up on the beef, on the rap beef, just because people were trying to put into question Kendrick's catalog. I don't think that's the smartest thing to actually do, because I feel like Kendrick Lamar's catalog is better than J. Cole's catalog, in my opinion. But again, it's like I feel like he said some things he didn't really want to say after he put it out. Sometimes, I mean, people are saying that it didn't get the response that he really garnered, so that's why he kind of went out there and apologized. But me personally, I'm not one of those guys that kind of are saying that he's a bitch or saying that he can't ever be number one in rapping just because he backed out of that feud. I feel like sometimes those things are petty, though people did want to see them beef and get down and rap and just kind of rap at each other, talk shit to each other. Um, again, I just kind of feel like if you're not that kind of guy, you're a kind of person that wants to reserve your spirit and your mental health, and don't feel like getting into a no mental strife. I have to worry about where you go when you step outside, though you have to do that as a celebrity anyway. J.Cole likes to go outside, ride bikes in public. He ain't trying to have to worry about somebody running up on him riding his bike in New York because he raps some shit about somebody. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to use the rap for monetary gain to get himself uh probably personally out of hip hop and just transcending to other things. He's already playing basketball. He's already making shoes. I'm sure he's producing hella shit. You know what I'm saying? He hinted at retirement before, so maybe the fall off is hinting at retirement. This is why he wants to back himself out of this civil war as fast as possible, just so he can just kind of fall back and watch what happens and not be a casualty of a war. You know what I'm saying, in a sense, but ultimately, it just kind of came and went. People are kind of saying that he dissed him on multiple songs on the album, but I don't think so, man. Crocodile Tears was out before Like That came out and that Kendrick verse came out. A couple of other songs that he did, again, those vlog songs that he dropped were weren't actually on. Yeah, we're actually online, so we got to see those first. So they weren't dissing him. Other songs he had were actually really good songs. Songs he had with Boss. He had a song with I keep saying Boss. Is Boss? Bass Boss. It is Boss. He had a song with Daylight, and who else do you have on that song with Daylight? I forgot who else it was. He had a couple other features, and he had, a song there he's singing. So the whole mixtape wasn't something dissing Kendrick Lamar. So I kind of feel like he tried to drop a little something off the publicity of that diss, and just kind of like felt in his spirit that 7 Minute Drill shouldn't have been on it. I think he just recently took 7 Minute Drill off of the album. And he took it off of all streaming platforms. So he just has all the other songs on the mixtape, but he took off the 7 Minute Drill. That's how you know a lot of those other songs probably wasn't diss songs. But this week, Metro Boomin and Future did double down and drop "We Still Don't Trust You," their second album, the follow up to "We Don't Trust You," and also brought more people on that album to go ahead and diss Drake as well. They had The Weeknd on that thing. They had ASAP Rocky. Him and Drake have beef from the whole Rihanna situation, and I think there's a song on his last album, Drake's last album, For All the Dogs, that he was talking about ASAP Rocky, that he was anti like your daddy's sister. Yeah, and the sex was average with you. Yeah, he was talking about ASAP. So ASAP came back. But it wasn't the best. Like, see, I don't know, man. When you're doing a diss on a feature, you can't really get into it the way you want to get into it because you kind of want to stay with the vibe of the song. But you just got to have poignant lines in the bars that kind of make people think, oh, he's dissing this guy. But Kendrick Lamar did it the right way. Just went in there in a melodic song, just went off the whole verse was dissing niggas, and it still kept the vibes of the song going. But nobody dissed like that on the Future Metro album. The Weeknd said a couple lines. It was funny because J.Cole ended up on the Future album as well, which is crazy. Uh, who knew that was gonna happen as well? It's gonna either this is the most elaborate rollout for J.Cole, or I don't know what's going on with this guy. I don't know, but I still fuck with him as a rapper and as a person. But yeah, the rap beef and the trying to be number one shit and the rap battle shit. I don't know. He's gonna have to. I don't know if he can redeem himself. Somebody's gonna just have to been poking him from him apologizing so much that he's gonna come out and just start slaying niggas and go out of character and go Super Saiyan because people are just trying to violate. Me personally, I kind of knew how J. Cole was as a rapper and a person. I kind of felt like what he was doing wasn't really trying to diss Kendrick as much, so that's why he went as light in his verse. And me personally, I don't really think that him bowing out and apologizing is the worst thing in the world. All these rap dudes and all these niggas are kind of on online kind of saying that he's a bitch, he lost all credibility, this and that. But his fans still love him, and I'm sure he don't be fucking with online and the internet like that as much anyway. I'm sure he's somewhere writing his bike, writing raps, working, helping produce other artists, and he'll be fine. But I'm still waiting to see what Drake is gonna do. Drake is gonna come out with some shit. He's petty. We'll see how personal he gets. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to hear Kendrick Lamar come back and do some shit. But man, I'm not trying to sound like a Drake hater. I love Drake. You know what I'm saying? He's one of my favorite artists for sure. But sometimes, man, when you're on top for so long and you feel like nothing can touch you, somebody has to come up and touch you at one point. Pause. Somebody does come up and just be like, "Hey, man, I got bars too." And we know Kendrick has bars, but we haven't really seen it in battle rap. We saw what he did to Big Sean. He made that kind of diss song like a really big song. Be humble, sit down. You know what I'm saying? So he's kind of battle tested like that. But Drake will go bars, 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 have a 5, 6 minute song dissing you. I know Kendrick Lamar can rap for hours and hours too, but we haven't really seen that. So I want to see what happens. I want to see if Kendrick Lamar can do it. I know he can. I just from the XXL freestyle back when he was out there rapping with the chain in his hand, man. I want to see that Kendrick come out and just start rapping and going crazy. And I know he can do it, man. Kendrick slaps, bro. I like them both. You know what I mean? But we'll see what happens. I hope no violence happens. But I do want to see a good battle. I want to see some good music come from it, some good rapping come from it, and get everybody in their bag. Make everybody rap again. No more lollipop shit. Go out here and rap, put some lyrics out, make some songs, and again, keep it non-violent. But let's see some shit. You know what I'm saying? But the album I really do want to talk about is self-titled Bryson Tiller. Oh my God, man. It came out this Friday or last Friday, excuse me. Hits on top of hits on top of hits. First R&B album in a while, me personally, that I've listened to where I can get through like what 7, 8 songs without a skip. If there is skip, if I'm in the gym and the track list is going through, I can just keep it playing. This shit's fire, yo. If you know me, you know my R&B artists that I be messing with right now, the Bryson Tillers of the world, Party Next Door to the world, the Brent Fires of the world. You know what I'm saying? You know what type of music they make, you know what I'm saying? And that's my kind of vibes, you know what I'm saying? And this album did not disappoint. It's in all your streaming platforms right now. Go get it in your phone right now. Go listen to Chow. Go listen to Rich Boy. Go listen to Prize. Go listen to Outside. Go listen to whatever she want. You guys, you'll love them all. They'll be playing it all summer. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, man. I'm not bullshitting. And again, if you know your boy Lydell, I know the slaps. Look at me. Look at me. I will not let you down. Download that right now. Right now, right now. And start from number one. The number one song on there is an intro that just gets you vibing. No words. No words. It's all vibes. Trust me. Going into number two, we'll bring back the ultimate feels from Bryson Tiller's first album. You know what I mean? It brings back all the vibes of that R&B, retro, yet futuristic feel, kind of paying homage to the R&B of the 90s, but giving you that 2024 still recent feel. The songwriting is amazing. Again, let me see. No Thank You. Oh my God, go listen to No Thank You. That's why you're looking at me like that, because you haven't heard No Thank You yet. That'll make you go talk to your girl, go talk to your man, bring them close, want to kiss them. You know what I'm saying? Are you going to kiss her? Yeah, I'm going to kiss her if you listen to No Thank You. You feel me? It's a great album. I'm not just putting on. You saw me post it on my Instagram. Ciao for now. Ciao, ciao. Go check that shit out. Don't meet me there. Beat me there. But yeah, let me talk to y'all again. I'm sorry. I had to talk to the dual cameras for y'all dual cameras. You know what I'm saying? But the album is fire. Excuse me. Wow, just burping y'all ear. That was my fault. That was hella gross. But yeah, man, that is like the number one album for me right now, man. There's been a lot of albums that I really did like this year. But R&B wise, and it maybe even taking the top spot for my favorite hip hop album this year. He did his thing. He can go into the tuck for another 3 years if he wants after this album. It was fire. It was fire. I know everybody's listening to Beyonce right now. I know everybody's listening to Metro Boomin and Metro Boomin and Future right now. But do not miss out on a chance to play that Bryson Tiller. Listen to that Bryson Tiller. Driving around outside, slap it out your speakers. Guarantee you'll pull a shorty if you playing that music. Windows down, eye contact with a shorty. What's up, shorty? What's up, dude? Playing Bryson Tiller's album, feel me? Old, ultimate. But yeah, go check it out. Do not be remiss. Go check that shit out. What else we got? Let's get into a little bit of cinema corner. Can I do that for y'all? The challenge is back. Where are all my real world heads at? Where are all my road world? I can never say road rules. Where are all my road rules fans at? Well, back in the day, they merged together to create the challenge, and we back. Everybody that we loved. Why are we peeking so much? Everybody that we loved is back. All Stars, 24 All Stars that we love from the 90s all the way back till now, recent. Cara Maria, who else we got? I'm just gonna name them off the top of my head. Yeah, Cara Maria, Cyrus, Leroy, Cam. Who else? We have Nicole is back. We got Laurel is back. We got Brad is back. We got Tony. Tony is back. Who else do we have? Um, let's see. These names, I don't know why these names are slipping my mind. There's so much. So recent. Rachel came back. Let's see. Men's side, we have Cyrus. We have Nehemiah. Wait, Nehemiah's supposed to be there too. I feel like there's a lot of people that came in that haven't come in yet, but ultimately, it's a lot of the all-star people. Any all-star you can think of is there, except for Johnny Banana and CT Darrell. I kind of feel like they're gonna come into the house at a certain point because I think I did see them in the promotion, but it's insane. And this is back on Paramount Plus, no longer on the MTV channel. Only the regular challenges are on MTV. We're all on Paramount Plus now, so they dropped it early. They dropped it in the morning too. They didn't wait till like 7, 8 o'clock at night to drop the new episode. They dropped it at bright and early in the morning, 2 episodes. First episode went right into a challenge. It was cool. It was cool. They don't have Tori there either. Yeah, there has to be a catch, bro. There has to be a catch. Hold on. Hey, there has to be a catch because a lot of the people that we expect to be there aren't there yet. But there is a lot of because I know I saw Darrell. I know I saw Darrell. I know it. But yeah, the challenge is back. Challenges are still incredible. Like the challenge on MTV, they mix that Survivor stuff with the actual challenge stuff. So we're seeing a lot more competitive stuff going on. Veronica, Tina, a lot of the all-star people, older people, so it's a lot more drama, talking shit, yelling at each other. They ain't playing, they aren't used to the social games that the Survivor and the new challenge people are playing now. So they end up arguing a lot more, being really loud about it. Giselle, or what's her name? Janelle from the Bay, who quit again. Oh man, I'm gonna do an episodic review because this season's gonna be epic. I'm sure last season was like 17 episodes, so I'm sure with all these veterans, and I know for a fact there's gonna be another veteran to come in. I know the Johnny Bananas and them have to come. Pause. They weren't in the last one, so I know they're gonna be in this one. It's all stars. They have to be. CT. I knew I saw CT in the previews for it. But yeah, initial thoughts, the cast is cool. It's just, man, these people as they get older just get so annoying and so self-entitled. I get it. I get it. You're older, you got a little fame behind you, under your belt. You guys haven't been on TV in a while, so you try to put on for the cameras. But come on, let's get the competing down. Let's not have episodes full of drama. I don't really like that part of the challenge. Anyways, I like the competing part of it. I like the social game of it as well. The whole survivor side of it, but the whole like just partying and the coupling up, kissing, having sex and stuff like that. It was cool back in the day, but more so now when we're doing the challenge part of it, we want to watch the challenge. We want to watch that shit. We'll watch the real world. You know what I'm saying? The real world, they don't do that no more. It was so bad they had to put it on like Facebook or some bullshit. It's a challenge now. You know what I'm saying? Let's see some competition. But episode one was great. Forgot who went home. Episode one, oh, it was Tyree. He went home episode one. He still can never win no challenges. Big ass nigga can't even win no challenges. Got tricked, even though that elimination was kind of weird. But yeah, he got tricked. He went home. The hand model guy won. But episode two, they gave us 2 episodes, but episode two was ridiculous. It was a female day. Basically one of the girls quit because one of the girls started a rumor about her. Everybody knew that the rumor wasn't true, and even told the girl that thought the rumor was started about her that the rumor wasn't true. Yet the girl that was accused of starting the rumor or accused of saying something bad about one of the girls decided to cry and decided to quit. First, she wanted to nominate herself for elimination, and then after nominating herself for elimination to try to get a star, because in this one now, smartly, because in the last challenge we watched, you could actually skate through the whole challenge without going on to the elimination floor, and then the social game of it made it so a lot of the players in the game didn't have to go to elimination before making the final. So that was kind of sketch. In this one, they're doing it again to where you have to go into elimination and gain a certain amount of stars to be able to make it into the final to qualify, like they used to do, and that's amazing. And then if you win an elimination, you can either give a star to somebody or take a star away from somebody. And that's something that's a really cool twist as well, just in case somebody tries to put somebody in elimination, they gang up on somebody and they end up winning. Um, so yeah, that's interesting as well. So I'm excited to see what happens in the season. And sorry, that's why I did not want her to be in here right now. It's a little awkward. That's why I'm excited for the season. And of course, I'm gonna get Ashwash and V-Rons and maybe also Amber and Yancy over to talk about the challenge a little more as well. But ultimately, the first couple episodes were cool. So check it out. Again, it's on Paramount Plus streaming now. I think it comes on every Wednesday. Yeah. That comes on every Wednesday. And then let's see here, Tron Ares, which is Tron 2, starring Jared Leto. It's supposed to come out October 16th. Jared Leto hasn't always got the best response in the roles that he has been playing, especially the Joker. So if he messes up Tron, I know people didn't really like Tron when it came out anyways, but I really like Tron. I am a really big Jeff Bridges fan. I loved his portrayal in the movie, and I love the movie itself. I almost died. I like to tell the story a lot during that movie. I'm almost passed out, not from watching the movie. It was just really steamy in the room I was watching them, or really hot in the room I was watching it, and I gasped and almost. Long story short, but it was a great movie. I love the movie. And I watch it all the time. I do really appreciate it, and of course, I'm a big Jeff Bridges fan. So hopefully, number 2 doesn't get messed up, and Jared Leto doesn't fuck up the game like he fucked up the Joker. Oh man, because they're already making a copy of that and trying to do a remake of The Crow, having him look like Jared Leto's Joker. And what are we doing here? What are we doing here? But yeah, also we watched Invincible 2. Season 2 just wrapped up. How'd you guys like that? You know what I'm saying? How'd you guys like it? I'm a big Ryan Otley fan. I met him a couple of times. Really big fan of his art. Just now getting into the comic books. I've seen this show before I read the comic books, but I'm reading the comic books now. I'm really excited. The season was dope, even though I feel like less happened than last season, but this season, a lot of stuff did happen as well. From Mark getting his ass whooped, seeing his dad, meeting his little brother, his dad, Omni-Man, getting taken back to Voltrum to end up potentially getting killed, Alan the alien getting killed in the beginning of the season, even though he's supposed to be a fucking super character. Then we see him be revived, and we realize that every time he gets killed, his body gets stronger. And we also see him going to save Omni-Man, and we see Omni-Man actually have a change of heart. The Viltrumites are really mean characters. Their only purpose in life, or their planet's sole purpose in life, is just to dominate and be superior to everybody else on the planet. Even on their own planet, they killed all the people on their planet except for the ones that were strong enough to survive. So they had like a civil war, and all the weakest ones died, and all the strongest ones killed the other ones to just have a superior race on the planet. And then they spread out and try to do the same and conquer all other planets that way, infiltrate and conquer them, which is crazy. We saw in season 1, Omni-Man try to put Mark, his son, to that task, and once he refused, he beat him almost to death. And him realizing that he was doing that to his son and actually displaying feelings had him go into space and just kind of just wander off and do whatever. And that's where he met the praying mantis wife. And that's when he had his little brother, and that's when he was kidnapped from that planet. They killed pretty much everybody on the planet and just took him, we saw that at the beginning of season 1, took him to Viltrum for judgment and pretty much execution. But it was weird because they wanted him at full strength. They let him heal up from the ass whooping he took, let him heal up to his full strength so that they can go ahead and kill him at full strength. And that's I guess that's honorable in Viltrum. I guess that's kind of crazy. But ultimately, towards the end of the season, we see Mark just kind of transition to being the hero of Earth, and just him having the whole little Spider-Man dilemma try to be a superhero and provide for the world, but at the same time, have the life of a teenager, still have the life of a kid that he actually wants to have a girlfriend, care for somebody. But he knows being a Viltrumite, just being a superhero in general, they know that people will try to find and hurt the people that he loves just for being a superhero, just for being a Viltrumite. You know, the Viltrumites are going to come try to take over the planet. We already saw it happen in one of the episodes. One of the Viltrumite women tried to threaten his girlfriend, almost broke her neck. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard for Mark and his girlfriend Amber to kind of connect on that kind of level because they feel like, hey, you know what I'm saying? We love each other, but I don't know, if we're gonna be able to do this because superheroes can't have it all. They can't have the superpower, the burden of helping everybody and saving the world and have a happy life. So that's what he's realizing, and we saw that throughout the season this season as well. And we also see Mark deal with the weight of actually being a Viltrumite. He's super strong, and sometimes he can't control his power. And his ultimate goal is not to become like his dad. And it's funny because the ultimate villain in this season knows that he does ultimately become his dad in alternate dimensions. So he's coming to this dimension to kill the one that isn't like his dad before he can become like his dad and kill the people of this dimension. So that's the main villain's motives in this whole season. But at the same time, Mark is trying to find himself as a superhero and as a teenage boy, but at the same time, not become his dad and not use his powers for harm of human race like his dad did. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big internal struggle this whole season, and he has to try to juxtapose that with being a son to his mom who just found out that his dad was alive and living this second life, and in season one left him and said he didn't care about her, that she was his pet, and stuff like that. And then finding out that he was on another planet, having another family, and him having and Mark bringing the baby to his mom to raise after the baby's original mom dying. It's just a lot. It's a lot going on for everybody in the season. Just the different storylines. There was a lot. The whole Guardians team being killed, and trying to deal with the changing of their team as well. There's a lot going on, and I advise it's a good watch, man. I really did enjoy season two. I'm not too sure which one I enjoyed more, season one or season two, but I really enjoy the fact that the boys and Invincible are given a good spin on the superhero genre and kind of bringing the gore, bringing the differentness, and going above and beyond in places that the traditional Marvel and DC weren't really able to go or willing to go, in a sense. I mean, we see it coming now with the Marvel kind of going darker and DC kind of going darker as well with the success of the boys. And you know what I'm saying? I would even give Umbrella Academy the nod for that, for their violence and their different spin on superheroes. You know what I'm saying? The boys, Invincible, Gen V, all those things just kind of like just open it up, and I feel like gave light and it showed a market for that kind of more gory side of the superhero-ness. And I feel like, yeah, we're going in a good place. And we see everybody watching anime now. We see everybody loving the superhero movies now from all different type of walks of life. So I love the connective tissue that is coming now, and I love it all, man. Keep pumping it. I'm gonna keep on supporting Ryan Otley. You're doing your thing. Tyler Kirkham, you're doing your thing. Keep killing. And then lastly, I did see Monkey Man in theater. David Patel, Jordan Peele. Cool little movie, man. Wasn't really promoted the way I thought it was going to be promoted. It was in a small theater, wasn't in IMAX, wasn't in the recliner seats or nothing like that. But it was a cool little movie. It was an Indian movie about this boy who witnessed his mom being murdered and his town being burned down by this police officer and this crooked cop in a society. Um, and he kind of grows up and kind of is just kind of in the underground back streets fighting in underground fights, kind of making money that way by throwing fights and stuff. But he ultimately is trying to become the best fighter he can and try to get revenge on that cop that did strangle and set his mother on fire and burn down. Spoiler alert, sorry about that. And I'm gonna be talking about it a little bit. And he grew up to actually, we saw him in the movie infiltrate his way into businesses and into situations where he could try to find this crooked cop and try to find this man in this group that murdered his family and kind of like set fire to his town. So it was kind of like this John Wick revenge story in a way, but at the same time, it had really some really cool cultural storylines and cultural, historical events that took place in India and kind of informed the viewer on from that side. But ultimately, I mean, the main storyline that kind of distracted a little bit from the movie. It kind of left people confused if you really don't know the history of India and some of the shit that went down culturally, economically, you know, societally in India. But as far as the revenge story and the ultimate uh filming of the movie, some of the shots were amazing, the fighting were amazing, the goriness was amazing. There was a scene where this guy stabbed the main character stabbed a guy in the neck and was trying to slit his throat, but the guy blocked his hand so he couldn't finish the slice. So he grabbed the knife with his mouth and just dragged the knife across his mouth with his neck with his mouth. It was crazy. It was crazy. Some crazy shit going down. Great movie as far as action goes. The story kind of went off a little kind of crazy, and sometimes like the flashbacks were kind of confusing. I feel like the flashbacks sometimes came a little late. They had us guessing some stuff in the storyline, and then they kind of revealed it after he was out there already kind of getting revenge. I guess he didn't really necessarily get revenge all at once. He did try to get revenge and ended up getting fucked up and shot, and then he was healed and revived by a group that was exiled from India that nobody really liked in society. So they went underground. They went to the ancestral plane in a sense. He took some drugs, hallucinated, trained to come back and actually be the man to come back and get vengeance for his family, for his town. And we see that in the third act, it was about a 2-hour movie. We see him actually become the monkey man advertised in the beginning of the movie. He goes and fights again in an underground fight, kicks and beats up the prize fighter in one move, surprises everybody there, wins a bunch of money. You know what I'm saying? He goes and just kills a bunch of people, gave a whole bunch of John Wick slash the Raid vibes, goes back and basically gets his comeuppance. I mean, again, it was shot really well. The fight scenes were incredible. Um, man, I can only imagine. I heard stories about the actor actually breaking his hands, breaking his shoulders. A lot of the actors and extras getting sick, so they had to use not one stuntman, but a couple of stuntmen and a whole bunch of other roles, like multiple times, just switching their face makeup and their beards and stuff like that. And the movie almost didn't come out, and Jordan Peele had to get behind it and Monkey Paw to help it get produced and actually come out. And I'm glad it did, man, because I think it's going to get a good reception once people do actually go and see it. I know Godzilla and a lot of other movies that came out recently are kind of having the spotlight right now. But if you have a chance to go see Monkey Man, go check it out. Again, the story was cool. The violence was cool. At the end of the story, it kind of leaves you wondering what happened. I saw people sitting. Is it normal to sit for every movie to see if there's some end credit or like end credit scenes? Like, who thinks there's going to be an end credit scene in Monkey Man? That's kind of wild. But ultimately, the movie is cool. It's like if you like John Wick, if you like the Raid, you know what I'm saying? If storyline isn't that important to you, just want to see some kick-ass shit and some interesting scenes and some fucking crazy-ass violence, this is the movie for you. You know what I'm saying? Let me know how, if you've seen it already, let me know how it was in the comments at the bottom of the video. Let me know how you're feeling about it. But yeah. My dog is getting antsy back here. Curry's been a little weenie. So let me go ahead and let you guys know where you can find me at. It's your boy, Lydell Dinero. You can find me on the Snapchat at SAC_Lydell. And then if you're looking for me on the Snapchat, it's Patrick_Lydell. If you're looking for anything for the podcast-wise, Best of Bias, you can find it online, of course, on YouTube. Thank you, AKA, for always making these videos crispy as fuck. Maybe blur out Curry back there licking herself for a little bit because that was kind of weird having the camera. But she's here now. I think she's not doing that anymore. So that's gonna be it. I mean, if you're looking for the pod online, go ahead and whoa, I don't know what just popped up over there. Hold on. If you're looking for the pod online, just go ahead and type in the Best of Bias podcast. You know where to find me at. You know where your boy be at. Yeah, new merch, everything coming real soon. It is coming, it's probably summertime, so I'm trying to get some tanks and stuff. The trucker bucket hats. I know you probably don't want to wear beanies right now, but we still have the dad hats. Get you one of those. No t-shirts left, but tank tops coming for the summer. And I kind of want to do a jersey. I might try to jump into the jersey game, but I'm not sure. But as of now, just hit me up. We still got orders available. Plenty of hats, plenty of stuff for you, and plenty of stuff coming soon. If you want to be on the pod, hit me up. Chelsea, I know you want to be on the pod. I'm trying to do episodically for the challenge, so maybe I can get some people on for there. It's gonna be a lot of episodes, so I don't know if we're gonna get people a guest on episodically, but we'll try to get something going for that. But yeah, go listen to all that new music's out. Go check out some new shows. There's supposed to be a lot of stuff coming out this weekend, and the next week. Deadpool's almost out. Go check out the last episode of X-Men. X-Men episode 5 was amazing, yo. I shed a tear in that episode, man. I ain't even gonna front. That episode was kind of amazing, man. They've been doing a great job with X-Men 97. If you haven't seen it, go check it out because the ending, I was just left jaw on the ground. Pause. But yeah, go check that out. Also go support the family businesses. Go check out Beautiful Struggle, New York Way. Go check out Johnny Mac 650 gaming page. Congratulations again, Damon and Shani. Damon Lee POV. Shout out to Damon. Holla at him if you want any filming done, any video editing done, any production like that. Go holla at him. He does a great job at that as well. Who else? Me Cam, shout out Donnie. Download Me Cam on your phones right now in your app store right now. You know what I'm saying? Change that sticker game life up, man. Emotion different, emoji different. You feel me? Go ahead, do your research, download Me Cam right now as well. But yeah, love to everybody. Stay healthy, stay safe out there. Thank you for clicking this podcast. Enjoy your Saturday. Hey, and I'll see y'all next week, man. Again, sorry for it being Saturday and not Friday pod. Hey, but we here. And we bigger and we better than ever. You know what I'm saying? You like my little poster? Brawly, it's lenticular, but I don't know if you move your head, you can actually change it. I wonder if it only works in person. But yeah, hopefully next week is a little bit smoother for me so I can get the pod out a little bit sooner. So actually on Friday, we can have the pod and the video out like we had last week. That was kind of crazy. We had it at the same time, huh? That was cool. But it's the Best of Bias podcast. Where that theme song at? Best of Bias online. Like, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss any podcasts. But yeah, sure, boy, I'm out of here. Hope you have a good weekend. Yeah.
It's the best of Bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to Unitas. It's the best of Bias. Your best of Bias. Yeah.